Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be starting a new series where I review prop firms. This very first episode, we are going to look into my funded futures. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look into the background of the company. I'm going to look at the CEO, the team behind it, any red flags that you want to be aware of. We're then going to look at the plans and pricing just so you can see how much it costs to get funded. Is it worth it to buy which account? How long will it take you? All that good stuff. We're then going to look at the community feedback and the support, how well their support is, if something is going wrong. And then finally, we're going to go over a scorecard of basically tallying up all the results. I'll have a little scorecard and I'll rank MFF. There's no affiliation at all. There's no affiliate code. There's no link in the description. I'm not getting sent any money by MFF for making this video. It's just my experience with MFF, the community's feedback, what I see in reviews, and me reading through their rules and trying to be as honest as I can with that. So let's get right into it. Also, one more thing I want to say, there's chapters. If you just want to skip ahead to any of the sections, you just want to look at the plans, the pricing, the rules, go ahead, go do that. Okay, so firstly, we're going to start with the company background. MFF launched in 2023 and is based in US, and the founder is Matthew Leach. So Matthew Leach first started in the prop firm industry by creating MyFundedFX, which is a Forex prop firm. Don't know how long you guys have been trading, but I started 3 years ago now, 3.5 years ago. When I first started trading, I was trading gold and the S&P 500 CFD. So I heard about MyFundedFX, but I was not even close to being profitable back then. I had no real chance of trying them or looking at real results or real reviews from MyFundedFX. But in 2023, Matthew Leach discontinued MyFundedFX and he rebranded that into what is now Seacrest Funding. And he also made MyFunded Futures at the time. So MyFundedFX got replaced. It split into two prop firms, one being Seacrest Funding, the other one being MyFunded Futures. So looking more into Matthew Leach, he was actually a trader before he created the prop firms. He actively traded. He said his motivation for starting the companies was to have a prop firm with less restrictive rules, not be as secretive and greedy as these other companies, and wanted to be more trader focused. So that's what he says about MyFunded Futures, but we can look further into their actual actions to see if that checks out. Looking at their social media platform, they've already built up a pretty big audience considering they're only 2 years into this industry. If we look at Top Step and Apex, they're around the same numbers. They're not that far off. And it's pretty impressive for only being in this industry for 2 years. Also, looking at their Trustpilot reviews, they're at a 4.9 rating with over 10,000 reviews. In context, Apex has a 4.5 rating. TopStep has a 4.3 rating. So I think they're actually sitting at the very top for futures prop firms. Going along with Matthew Leach's stated motivation for his creation of these prop firm companies, looking at MFF's edge or their reason you should go with them against other companies, they have a very simple funding process. It's a one-step evaluation. Every single plan, the evaluation has the exact same rules. There's no daily loss limit. There's no trailing drawdown. It's just an end-of-day trailing drawdown. It doesn't follow like Apex does. It's very simple rules, and it should be up to you as the trader to be able to be profitable, to make money. So now looking at the plans, pricing, and rules, MFF actually just completely revamped their entire plan structure. I think it was Starter Plus, and Pro that they offered before, but now it is Core, Scale, and Pro. We'll go over what it's like now, but I won't talk about what it used to be like. But right now, every single evaluation phase is the exact same for all the accounts. The rules are the exact same. There's no difference in the evaluation phase if you purchase an account on one of these. Looking at the rules, it is a one-step evaluation, 6% profit target, no daily loss limit, 4% max drawdown that's calculated at the end of the day. There is a 50% consistency rule, so it'll take 3 trades at the most to pass the account. You can't have one more than 50%. So 3 trades to pass the account pretty much. And one of them can be like very small amount. You can take 2 big wins of 49% and then have the other one pass it over. And then there is a $0 activation fee, which is really nice. Now looking at the plans, we're going to start with the core account, which is the cheapest. It is only offered for the 50K account size, and it is $77 a month. So you can risk up to 3 minis or 15 micros at a time. The minimum payout is $250 and the maximum payout is $1,000. To qualify for a payout, you have to get 5 winning days of $100 minimum, $100 minimum, 5 winning days, and then you can get a payout. That's it. You have to be above $250. So let's say you win 5 trades that are $100 and you even lose a couple. As long as you're above $250, you can request a payout from $250 to $1,000. If you make over $1,000, you still can only request $1,000, and you will have to get 5 more winning trades to pull out the money that's past the $1,000. So next, looking at the scale plan, it is offered at $50K for $127 a month, $100K for $267 a month, and $150K for $377 a month. So what is the difference between the scale and the core plan for costing that much more? Basically, you can just withdraw more money the more payouts you get. The payout cap for the first one is 1.5K. The second payout, you can request up to 1.75, then 2,000, 2.5K, and then 3.5K as the final cap in your payout cycle. So that's the only difference between these two accounts. If you want to get higher payouts, that's the way to do it. The requirements for the payout are the exact same. 5 minimum trading days of $100. I think it's still $250 minimum to get the payout. And lastly, looking at the pro account, there is a 50K account that is offered at $227 a month, a 100K account at $344 a month, and a 150K account for $477 a month. So these are pretty expensive. So there is pretty much no payout cap with these accounts. You can get paid up to $100,000 on these ones, and the minimum payout is $1,000. So basically, there's just no payout cap. These are for people who are looking to leverage their accounts. They just want to get pretty fast payouts with pretty high account size. I don't know if there's really a good situation where I'd recommend this. If you're looking to get high payouts, I would probably just go through Apex. I don't know if there's a situation where you would use this. With these 3 accounts, there is also a sim funded to then a live funded, where you're actually placed into a real live broker. You get to trade with like 10%. On 50K, you have like $2,000 to play around with. You're in the real markets, and you can get a payout as soon as you make money on those live accounts. To get there, you have to get either 5 payouts or 30 winning days. It is doable to get there. And now looking at the rules, there is an inactivity rule where you have to place a trade every 7 days. If you're on vacation, you want to take a vacation, you have to email them and let them know, which is a little silly. What I've started to do is I've made it a habit where I come into the market each day and I just open and close a micro contract immediately. So I don't even have the risk going 7 days without taking a trade. You can't even just open the charts on your broker. You have to actually place a trade, which is a little bit annoying. There is an easy solution to that. Just be aware of that. You can trade from 6 p.m. EST to 4:10 p.m. EST, but make sure you close your own trades before 10. They don't close them for you. They actually will penalize you. So just close it out yourself before market closes at 4:10. Just make sure you do that. And then there's also a 2% price limit rule. So if one of the pairs is going up or down 2%, which is a lot, you will no longer be able to trade that pair for the day. That is a massive event if we go up or down 2%. Those are really big numbers, so you really shouldn't have to worry about that. And then also, there is no copy trading. You can copy your own trades across other accounts, but taking the same trades as somebody else, it is in the rules that you can't copy somebody else's trades and see that your trades are matching up with somebody else's. You can be penalized for it, but I really wouldn't even worry about that. They do offer their own copy trader. I think it's TradeSyncer that they offer. You can use them to trade multiple accounts through a trade copier. I mean, it's pretty simple. As long as you're aware of the inactivity rule and taking your own trades, you really should have no issue at all with the rules. There is no weird sketchy rules to catch you up and make you fail or not give you a payout for some stupid reason. There really is nothing like that within MFF except for that little inactivity rule, which is a little interesting, but just be aware of it and you should be fine. So now looking at the customer support and trader reviews. MFF actually has one of the strongest support teams in the entire space, which is very impressive. They have a Discord you can go to and reach out to people who will respond pretty much immediately. You can open tickets and you'll get pretty good responses. And there is multiple reviews about people talking about certain people who are responding to them very fast, giving them great service. So if we look at some of the reviews, Amber said, Emmanuel was always so helpful and detailed. I somehow had 2 tickets submitted for the same thing. I had one rip give a very general response, but Emmanuel went above and beyond right from the start, answered exactly what I needed instead of giving me a general obvious answer. I like when I chat and I see Emmanuel pop up because I know my service will be top tier. Thank you, Emmanuel. So there is a specific person who answered their question. We then also look at Bill. Bill said, after passing a 50K evaluation, my funded futures set up my new sim funded account. Upon logging in the first morning to trade, the rhythmic connection was working fine, but orders were refused and I was unable to trade. I sent a message to support. Yasar responded and fixed the problem within 5 minutes. So there's another direct person who is going through and helping people. Also looking at Herbert said, I appreciate that customer support kept their promise to get back within 24 to 48 hours to resolve an issue that I had. I was pleased that they actually got back in about 10 hours and resolved that issue as well. I was supported by Kyle and Pilot. Thanks, guys. So again, more people that are being mentioned. So it seems like there is a very active customer support system answering tickets. They're in this Discord, answering people's questions, helping with any issues that people may have. So just looking at other people, I haven't actually had to deal with the support myself, but it seems like it is very top notch and one of the most highly reviewed in all of the prop firms. And then also looking at Trustpilot's AI created review, which is basically all the reviews conjugated into one quick paragraph summarized by AI. It says, reviewers overwhelmingly had a great experience with this company. Customers consistently praised the company's customer service, highlighting the responsiveness and helpfulness of the support staff. Many reviewers specifically mentioned individual support agents by name, expressing gratitude for their prompt and efficient assistance in resolving issues and answering questions. Consumers appreciate the speed of payouts and the clarity of the rules, although some find it takes time to fully understand. People also value the company's service and knowledge and professionalism of the staff. And then also we do want to take a look at some negative. We do want to be looking at both sides of the coin. We don't want to just be looking at the positives. No said, important rules are not displayed totally transparently. It takes a pretty long time to find all rules and understand them from this proper-ish talk. Very bad trader area after acquiring account. Slow support, but I'm used to all this. Good instruments, cheap prices, kind of all absolutely BS that you can't take over 1,000 payout with core plan, but allows scalping and has good volume tools. So is one of my choices. So I don't actually know what rules he's talking about. I wish he mentioned them, but he said very bad trader area after acquiring account. Not at all sure what that means. I don't 100% know what this guy's talking about. But he said there is slow support. Maybe the support isn't the fastest. Again, I haven't had to deal with them from my own anecdotal experience, but he said they have slow support, but sounding like it's overwhelmingly actually positive. Now looking at this negative review, Alex Hardman said, I'd stay far away from MFF. Every firm has glitches and errors, of course, but they fix and honor it, not MFF. They will close your account in the middle of an active profiting trade. Your trade will remain active and profiting, but you will be unable to close the trade. And even if you show them and provide them screenshots and timestamps showing the trade and accounts that are in profit and not breached, they will still close your trade. I've provided proof, but this company is here to scam and steal your money. Customer service is terrible, even when time-stamped proof is shown. It doesn't matter if your screen has an active profiting trade, they will close your account on a glitch and you will be out of luck. MFF customer support will also refuse to send you to another agent and leave you in limbo if you request one. It sounds like Alex had two possible things go wrong. He either held his trade overnight, he held his trade over 4:10 p.m. Eastern time, and he didn't close his trade, and MFF closes his account for it. So again, make sure you close your account before the market closes. Very, very important. You can't swing trade. There's no swing trading in this. Either that or he breached his account. His account went into drawdown, but he was still in the account, or he was still in the positions. He went into drawdown. The trade started to go back in his favor. But since he already got past the drawdown, it was already failed. And he's mad because it didn't get stopped out. That's kind of what it sounds like. So just be aware, if your account goes below drawdown, you're gonna lose the account. That's pretty obvious. To me, it sounds like it's one of those two issues. Again, it could be anything. There could be an actual real glitch and something went really wrong, but something just to be aware of. Looking at the last negative review, this is by Brian Brown. He said, I am disappointed with my funded futures regarding the closure of my funded after a technical issue beyond my control. Despite having over 20 accounts and a clear explanation of the problem, they offered no assistance or resolution after my first payout request. The platform itself is good, but their lack of support shows they are not fully invested in their traders' experience or investments. Being forced to start over was frustrating and felt unfair given my dedication. So then another review talking about some technical glitch that may happen. Maybe there is a bigger issue here. I don't know what the issue is. I wish they would say that, but gotta be honest with that. There is multiple negative reviews talking about these technical issues and their accounts being closed for it. So that is something to keep in mind. Okay, so lastly, looking at the final scorecard, we are going to go over 6 categories. Firstly, the rule fairness, then cost versus value, the support quality, their community reputation, the company dignity versus greediness, and finally the scalability of MFF. Okay, so firstly, looking at the rule fairness of MFF, I'm going to give them a 7.5 out of 10. The rules are pretty simple. They lay them all out. The evaluation, they're all the exact same. There's just that one rule, the inactivity rule, that is a little bit sus. But if you're aware of it, you know you have to take a trade every 7 days. It's not that big of a deal, but you do need to be aware of it. For that reason, I'm going to give them a 7.5 out of 10. Next, looking at the cost versus value, I'm actually going to give MFF an 8.5 out of 10. Why is that? The accounts are $77. They're $247. Why is that? If we look at Apex, their accounts are super cheap, but there is a $100 plus activation fee. I bought a 300K account. My activation fee was $147. Looking at MFF, there's a $0 activation fee. You don't pay anything once you pass the account. You just get the account. So we have to factor that in. It is a cost. And also, again, I have no affiliation. I have no discount code, but you should use a discount code. The very first account you buy with a discount code, you get 50% off. Use a code. Go to propfirmmatch.com. Again, no affiliation with that website, but use their code because they have codes for all the prop firms, or just use another YouTuber's code, but use a discount code, please. So for the 50K account, you can get a $33 account, $33.50 for a 50K account, no activation fee. You can pass it and get a $1,000 payout. Seems pretty good to me. So next, looking at their support quality, I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. So there is a plethora. There are so many great reviews talking about how good their support is. They have a separate Discord you can go to and talk to somebody. But again, we do have to remember there is negative reviews. In this industry, there's never going to be no negative reviews because people are salty that maybe they broke the rules and they think that they're owed something, but they broke the rules. But still, support should very clearly tell them what rules they broke, and it doesn't sound like they're doing that. So that's why they're getting a 9 out of 10. Next, their community reputation. They're going to get an 8.5 out of 10 for their reputation. They have the highest scores on Trustpilot, on propfirmmatch.com. They're growing extremely fast through their social medias. It seems like they have a pretty good presence for their 2 years in this industry. They have a pretty good presence already, and I see a lot of positives. I don't see a lot of people talking down. When I hear traders talking about it, like when I'm just in the trading community, I don't hear a lot of negative reviews about it like some other companies, Apex. But yeah, seems pretty good overall. The reason it's not a 10 out of 10 though is because they're such a young company still. They don't have 5-10 years of experience like Top Step does. Top Step is actually a 10-year company. So, I mean, 2 years, is that long enough to think that they're going to be in this game forever and that they're not going to eventually go bankrupt? I don't know. Seems like they're doing good for now, but that's the reason they're not getting a 10 out of 10. Next, looking at the company dignity versus greediness. I'm going to give them a 7.5 out of 10. The plans are extremely simple. The evaluations are all the same. There's no daily loss limit, no intraday trailing drawdown. There is one, but not many sketchy rules that will get you to or fail the account or lose the account for some stupid reason and not get a payout. There's that one, the inactivity rule. But overall, the payout buffers can seem a little schemy, having you stuck at $1,000 for the core, and then you can see the higher numbers for paying more, so it kind of gets you to want to pay more because you want to get more money. But that's for the people who want to gamble, and obviously they still have to make money, but that's why they're getting a 7.5 out of 10. Lastly, looking at the scalability of MFF. MFF gets a 6 out of 10 for scalability. I think this is the biggest issue, is that it is not extremely scalable. You can only get 5 accounts. Their biggest account is only $150, and the payouts are pretty slow. You have to get 5 winning days. It's pretty slow overall. To make money and to continue to stack with MFF, you'd have to get max allocation with other prop firms to get those big numbers. So I don't think it's extremely scalable, which is a pretty big issue if that's what you're thinking about. So that's the biggest issue in my opinion with my funded futures. So overall, MFF gets a 7.83 out of 10 on the final scorecard. Pretty damn good overall. This is again the first episode of the series, so we can't compare that to the other ones just yet, but that's a pretty good score for a prop firm. There's not going to be any prop firms that have 0 issues at all, that have 0 negative feedback at all, of course. But this is pretty dang good overall. So what is my recommendation for using my funded futures? I think it is for somebody who wants a longer time to spend with a single prop firm. You have an account, you then continually get payouts, and then you get put to a live account. Stick with this company. They're reliable. They have a good support team. You stick with them for a while. You continue to get payouts on their live account. It seems like it's something you're going to be committed to, and you're not going to be thinking that they're going to be sketchy out of nowhere, that they're all of a sudden going to deny your payouts. It's something that's reliable, it's long term, and that is my suggestion for it. It's not something that you want to make these crazy numbers, you want to make insane number payouts, you want to make these $1 million payouts like with Apex. That's not what MFF is for. So that is all I have for this video. Let me know if you like this video, this prop firm series. Next one, I'm probably going to do Apex, but please leave me more prop firms you want me to review in the description. I'm also probably going to do Top Step, Take Profit Trader, I think it's called, Tradeify, whatever. Leave comments. I can go over the rules, go over the community, all that good stuff. And yeah, like the video, subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Peace out.